And away we go. Corr wins the lag. This is an alternate break format, and that's kind of important because if it goes down the hill when each player has 6, Miss Corr would have the final break shot, and that could be the difference as the match winds down. Mr. Ryan Smith is from Schuylkill County in Pennsylvania. He plays regularly on tours up north, Predator tour, the Joss tour up there, and I'm sure he and Karen have played a couple times because they're both from that same general region. So here we go, we're underway, and Karen has broken the balls and broken dry, and Ryan plays with the Carmeli cue from California. I actually know a guy, I can't say a real protege, but a guy I might have influenced, a guy named Dominic No in Baltimore, who is also playing with one of those cues. But he plays with the Carmeli cue, and he asked me to mention it, and I mentioned it. So here we go. This is 10 ball. All balls have to be called. Balls in pocket. If a ball is called and goes in a different pocket than the one it was called, the incoming player can have that player shoot again or take the shot themselves. A 10 ball does not count on the break. It gets respotted, but the breaker gets to continually shoot, and it's 3 consecutive fouls by the same player in the same game is lost a game. Push out is not a foul. Cue ball fouls only. And
okay, I'm back in the booth with George Hammerbacher. This is Curtis Branker again, in case you didn't get enough of me last time.
Well, it looks like the winner of this ends up with Sean. If I'm taking a wild guess on that one.
Well, I don't know Ryan. He looks like a regional player. He plays a above average pool, plays a decent solid game, but I think he's a little bit intimidated having to play on the stream table as well as having to play Karen Corr. So it's a little bit of a double whammy. So we'll see how it affects his game because he's a solid shot from what I've seen today.
He's the report is he's from like Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. He plays on regional tours, the Predator tour up there in that general area, and there are tons of good players there. So that group is going to be every bit as salty as these people should be, because Matt Craw plays up there steadily. So does Sean, really, I believe.
Well, when he asked me, he said, "Am I playing on the streaming table?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, geez." So, you play in these tournaments, it's going to happen at some point.
Well,
you just have to put it out of your mind as best you can and just play your game, which is easier said than done. But
that was an old song by the Essex in 1963.
I was minus 4 years old, George.
Right. It was called Easier Said Than Done.
My mother was 16. Not sure how sweet she was, but that's another discussion for another time. And that's
cushion.
A foul.
No cushion. Ryan hit the ball, but no ball reached a cushion after the cue ball made contact with the 3. And Karen has ball in hand, and she made an impressive comeback against against Matt Cry, trailing 2-0, and came back and stormed back to win 7-5, and she more than proved her mettle.
She's putting that cue ball behind the 10.
Oh, that was the sixes also in the game. Maybe he might have the edge of it, but, or he gets to come behind it with the lots of masse right and come off the rail and kick it at this bottom left corner pocket on the screen. But he's an odds-on favorite to sell out, even if he does make a good hit, as that cue ball isn't going to be behind anything unless something weird happens.
I don't like going at the 4 ball this way. I prefer to come off the bottom rail.
That was what I thought he was going to do, and it was almost an odds-on sellout. Like I
Well,
said.
she's going to break out the rake here and poke this in the hole with a natural angle for the 5. George, I'm going to take a slight break here to, consume mass quantities. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Watch closer if you want. You can stand there if you want. What a stroke. She's smiling at it a little bit. She went a little bit past her mark, actually. She would have been, she's going to have to probably play a high left ball. And oh, she got pretty good on that. That was, she can force this over. Might not get all the way over, but she might be drawing it to the side. Yep. Karen Corr takes a 1-0 lead over Ryan Smith. Now let's see if Ryan can answer. They're playing on a Brunswick Gold Crown 3 table.
with Simonis 860 cloth. We're at Champion Billiard Room on Buckystown Pike in just outside of Frederick, Maryland, and we had a relatively small field. It's only 22 players come in this weekend for this event, and we're down to 4 undefeated, actually 3 undefeated players. I think that Sean Wilkie, as well as these 2 folks, are the 3 left that are undefeated. And after this match, there'll be a hot seat match for the finals of the winners bracket. This tournament got condensed from 2 days to 1 day, and we that ain't gonna help him any. That 5-10 is dead as a doornail. All Karen has to do is get to the 5 ball, and she's out. Combination's good. She has the 1 to the 2-7. That's not the easiest. She's not going to play for a combination, apparently going for the... She didn't get there, I don't think. For the 2 up to the corner pocket, she might have gone just a hair too far. I can't completely tell, but I'm close. We play safe, it looks like. I try to go behind the 8. Ryan is already on 1 foul. He scratched on the break shot, so he'd be better off calling the 10 right here, I think, and give this a smack. He might get lucky. Oh, that's a chilly dip. Ryan's on 2 whacks. If Karen is able to lock him down again, and Brian is unable to make a hit, that's 3 consecutive fouls and a loss of game. It doesn't come up much, but that's what Karen is going to go in behind the 5-10. It looks like. But she left an easy hit. That wasn't what she wanted. 2 rails for sure. But I don't know if she told him he was on 2 fouls. That's a courteous thing to do. Three consecutive fouls. Karen Corr takes game number 2 and is ahead 2 games to nothing. This is the first time I've seen Ryan Smith down here. If he got to this point in time undefeated, he had to have beaten a couple people that could play some. But now he's in a world with a former world champion with the ladies and a former winner on the Action Pool Tour with the men and all. Ryan needs this game in the worst way because safety is a call.
I'm going to call the 10.
He can lose his cue ball in the side pocket if he tries that. She might try it herself right here. And she's got a helper off the 7. This is a no-brainer. She'll call the 10. No-brainer off the 3 ball. The 10 is
10 ball.
10 ball. It might go in off the 3. Might go in clean too. Well, she drew it too much. That was kind of a substandard shot there. Ryan is got a little bit of the trembles here. He seemed to be uptight. I like the safety coming right behind the 2-4 and locking her down. There's no other percentage here. There's no out. Didn't reach.
Ball in hand.
Ball in hand. All he had to do was hit the ball.
No rail. Didn't hit a rail.
Didn't hit a rail. He's going to be on 2 fouls again real fast. She's going to bank this clear to 4 and stick him right on the 4. Karen has treachery in her heart. He's up again. Good hit that time. Ryan's off the fouls, but he's left Karen a fairly decent opportunity here. It's like Karen's going to get a little jumpy here. It's like an ideal jump shot. She's going to kick near the side. This is one where he's going to have to start letting his stroke out.
He's struggling. That's one where Kieran didn't call the ball frozen because that would have been a foul as well. It might not matter anyway. She's got 2 rails around to the 5. Safety, okay.
Okay, it looks like I came back in time to see him bank that 4-ball with some confidence. If this is the same Ryan I played this morning, he should be out from here.
Well, he one game Karen got him on 3 straight fouls.
Oh.
And was for lack of a better term, looked rather flummoxed.
I like that term.
He was either flummoxed or, well, he was just kind of left speechless.
I don't really know him that well, but it looks like he's playing with a little bit of nervous energy.
Oh yeah, he looked like he was in a daze the first game or 2 there. And now he's going to get to stroke some balls. He might.
In the old days, we used to say that she put him in a coma.
That was an old song by Frank Zappa.
Oh, the Don't Eat the Yellow Snow guy?
Yeah, he sang, just put me in a coma with that dirty love. That dirty love. The rest of it isn't really PG material, so
Understood.
I'll leave it be. Or like the Beatles sang, let it be. He's getting straight in on this ball, it looks
I have a
like.
funny story for you about that. Let it be.
Okay.
Sir Paul McCartney was recently denied access to a nightclub because the bouncer didn't know who he was.
Oh.
I thought that was funny.
Well, the chances are the bouncer is going to be 40 or 50 years younger
Yes.
than Paul McCartney. So,
With no taste in music. Yes.
well,
I understand it's generational, but to not know the Beatles or any of their songs, just maybe it's just a bias on my end. But I think he's overthinking this a little bit.
I was never much, all that much for the Beatles, actually.
Are you a Moody Blues kind of guy?
I like them, but I preferred the blues in general, which was the Stones.
What a pretty shot. What a pretty shot. Very well struck. That's the kind of game that will just cause your confidence to skyrocket. Okay,
That's
he is
better.
on the board. And he's breaking.
2 games to 1. And yeah, I've more preferred the Rolling Stones and the original Led Zeppelin, the early albums.
I was fortunate enough to see the Stones in the latter part of their career during the Steel Wheels tour, and I also saw the Who, and I saw Floyd. Floyd was by far the best concert experience of my life. It was almost surreal. They're my all-time favorite group anyway, so naturally there's a built-in bias there. But
I liked the old hard blues myself, and
Right.
and the Beatles. They were
a little too lightweight.
too lightweight for my tastes.
So I'm
Some
guessing
of
that
it
you
was
weren't a
good.
big Carpenters fan.
No, or Brett, or David Gates and Brett, or
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
well, that was real big in just before the Beatles. They had the folk thing going on,
Right.
with the Kingston Trio and the Brothers Four and Peter, Paul, and Mary, and some of these Joan Baez.
Oh, John.
Well, they were selling records in
Oh, I
that
know.
63, 62, 64 era, right before the British invasion, and that all went away real quick.
Mm-hmm.
They had offshoots of them, like,
All of a sudden, people are screaming, "Love, love me do," and "Please, please me."
right. The
I think the
Birds,
Beatles really grew musically after they hooked up with Ravi Shankar, but probably some listeners that will probably want to drive a stake through my heart for saying that, but let it be. So what do we have here? Does a 2 go by the 6 in the bottom right corner?
it looks a little bit problematical to me.
Well, she left him a clear shot in the side with the 1.
But there's no real reward here.
Well, I think the two goes on the left side, doesn't it? If he rolls it down, rolls the cue ball down, the 2 goes on the other side, in the left side pocket.
Well, I let me see what his angle looks like. See, looks like he wants to roll the ball based on his bridge. He's gonna get a little nervous here, I think.
Yes.
Gonna have to get a little jumpy. No, this is gonna be gruesome. That was a poor play. He might be able to hook the ball a little bit around the 7 and make a good hit.
He just doesn't seem comfortable. No, I
Yeah.
really like that shot.
That was good. Karen has a potential 2-4 combination off the kick.
Four was a little too high.
Yeah, but that was a real good shot because the side rail may not be available. He might be able to get past this. He can hit this directly. Torture.
Yeah.
One of those torture racks here. We had 22 players, and there, I believe, a total of 3 left on the winner's side. These 2 and Sean Wilkie, I believe, are the
Steve Fleming is over there too.
Steve Fleming. Well, then,
Those are the 4 on the winner's side. These 2, Steve Fleming and Sean Wilkie.
mm-hmm.
And Steve and Sean have to play next. I guess they're saving them for the TV table.
I'm sure they are.
Well, we should stop calling it the TV table, the stream table. This isn't anywhere near television.
I'm better than television. Nice. That's a wide open looking shot to me.
Well, Karen is totally relaxed. The
This is
veteran professional versus the regional player that's a little bit nervous.
This is a perfect half ball cut here. This is center cue ball to the bottom outside edge of the 3 where you see that shadow. It's a center tip right to the shadow. See where he's at. He's a little bit inside it.
That's a case of where the generous pockets really helped him out.
I said he looked like he was a little fat on the ball. I could see it. I had a perfect look on it down the line.
Well, that would not have fallen on a diamond.
No. Those diamonds over there, maybe, no. But regular diamonds we see in Richmond or Virginia Beach or First Break.
Yeah.
And,
Sterling.
Sterling, no.
Or even Breakers Sky Lounge.
They don't have diamonds there. They got the gold crowns.
Really? I thought they had diamonds.
No.
I've only been there once.
Gold crowns only. What a nice shot. They only have gold crowns.
Do you draw to play the 6 in the bottom left corner? Or do you roll it? Is he rolling it forward to play the 6 in the top left corner? No.
I like him to play the high right to the 6 in the side pocket near where his cue ball is. He might be skidding it over for the 6 ball. Go between the 6 and 9. That's what he was trying to do. He still got it. He in fact he can fall 1, 2, 3
Three
cushions
rails, yes.
and land nice on the 7 in the same hole.
Yes, he can.
And he won't hit any balls either.
Confident shot. Although it looks like he's going low, I hope he doesn't. 1, 2. It worked out.
That was a great shot. Nothing wrong with that. It's all you could do. He's got to go up table and come back to the 8. I don't think he can hold it.
He absolutely has to win this game because Karen is breaking next. But it looks a little extra juice on that, but
This isn't particularly good because of this way the 10 ball's sitting.
exactly.
He comes off one rail of the bottom right and can come back and get swept out by the 10. And then his high ball's got him going 2 rails to the same general area. He's kind of handcuffed here. Tend to undercut this ball.
Well, he just made a statement there.
That's good. That's a good shot. He kind of jarred that ball, but he made it. Fact is, it's in the dark. It's no longer in the light. It's in the dark. That's all that matters.
Nicely struck. Let's see if he can fare better than young Matt Crow. Okay, so we have a tied ball game. Torpedo in the water.
Yes, indeedy.
How old is Karen, George? Actually, I shouldn't have to ask you. I can just check my phone right now.
I'd have to put her in the mid-late 40s to near 50. she's been a top player for like 20 plus years.
Right.
So I'd say she's at least 45 to 47.
She is 49.
All right, I was pretty close, yeah. Allison Fisher would be a few years older than her. She'd be about 53 or so, because she got here first. Behind the 5? No, the other way.
Alison Fisher is 50.
50. She got here a couple years ahead of Karen Corr, but they're about the same age indeed. Born in the same general island. Actually, Ireland is a different island.
I just wish this game was bigger, just for the simple fact that people can really appreciate just how difficult this game is. And to be able to play it professionally or play it successfully, consistently, under so many different types of conditions, so many different factors, it's really something to be admired.
Oh, sure. But there's still one unfortunate sticking point in this great sport.
The pool players themselves.
No, not that at all. No. I've said it often. No. What it is, in so many words, is that you can never have any large live gates because because we got the best seat in the house and we can't see.
Right.
Two people, 55 years of being in the game like I have.
And 30 for me. That's
Right.
combined 85 years.
Right. And been exposed to all kinds of players and things.
Enough to write books.
Enough to write books indeed. So the thing is that we can't see what the player sees, and that's the trouble. You could have gigantic auditoriums filled if you could get TV screens that would show 3 dimensions and see what Karen's seeing.
Well, what we need are cameras on drones that are small enough to not be a distraction. Or make the players wear a helmet cam.
No. I say a little transistor that's going to get the reflection of the light off of their eyes and into the mixing board.
Mm.
They can take pictures of Saturn and bring them back alive. All the tech people could come up with something like that.
Meanwhile, she made quick work of this rack.
Well, she's made quick work a lot of racks. So here, just one more time.
Another day at the office. And she takes a 3-2 lead.
Yeah.
Without naming any names, I was recently told that a professional, a well-known professional, complained about having to play in tournaments with amateurs, and they didn't like the fact that they had to wade through a field of amateurs to get to the creme de la creme. And I found that comment disappointing because, for better or for worse, players like me, or a little better than me, are the bread and butter of a lot of regional tournaments.
You know, they are the bread and butter. These people come in and pillage these tournaments because they behave so badly at major events that they've behaved themselves out to where only gambling halls are going to have them.
Well, and what bothered me about the comment, that came from a very reliable source, and I'm not naming any names, and I'm not using any gender-specific pronouns for a reason, because I don't want anyone trying to figure out who that professional was. But this professional clearly seemed to have forgotten where they came from. You know, they weren't born a professional. So, you know, I'm sorry that you have to play in a tournament with 300 players and only 30 of them are considered top-class professionals, and everybody else is just there because they want the thrill of maybe having the opportunity to play you. And you're saying that you can't be bothered. That doesn't sit well with me.
Well, and that goes back to what I say about there being prima donnas. They either knock venues, they knock equipment, and
Yes.
And these very equipment manufacturers are the people that sponsor them and put money in their lives.
Exactly.
And
They
and
put food on their table.
they're ingrates.
Yes.
And I've just seen it too long, and that's why there are only
And
a
some
few places that people will even have these people.
Some tournament directors are to blame as well. I'm gonna name names here. I'm gonna use Alan Hopkins as an example. At the Super Billiards Expo, there have been many years where he would allow the professionals to play in the Wednesday amateur warm-up. They would have They would have brackets of 8, and if you won your bracket, you won 3 matches, you got $400. And one year, I got to the finals of my bracket, and I had to play none other than a Mike Deshane. He beat me, but he shouldn't be allowed to play in an amateur warm-up event.
I've seen it other places too, and it's just fine as long as it's.
And this is the same Super Billiards Expo where Alan does not allow winners of the Amateur Open to compete again, or at least not the very next year, because there have been people who have won the Amateur Open, and they get their $5,000, and then they can't play the very next year just because they've won it. He may have relaxed those rules because he's allowed some people to play that have won it in the past, but it was not the previous year. It was a few years ago, so I don't know what his rules are.
It's make it up as you go, maybe rules.
That possibly, yes, because I mean he always gets a full field. He always gets 1,024 players, or over 900 for the Amateur Open. Anyway, back to the game. But do you think she's going to go for the cut on the 2-ball here, or just play him another safety?
The 9-ball is sitting a little gnarly on that side cushion. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere other than just maybe from one place in the corner. But
if you get right on the 7, you could play the 7 on the side off the 9 and knock it away.
Well, that's it. But there's a lot of pull to get to that point in time.
And she overspun this, but it was a 2-way shot. And I don't see him banking this ball. I see him trying to return a safety here. Now, I would fan this on the left side and have the cue ball go 2 rails and come back down. See the shot?
I see that shot, but the one that I would see from the distance that he wouldn't have to be more accurate is the right side of the ball.
Right.
And
send the 2-ball down.
Send the 2-ball behind the 4, 3, 8, and the cue ball up table.
Right. That way you can have more of a ball to hit.
Right. And because if you hit it thin, and if he fans on the ball, which is what I've seen people do, Give up ball in hand. That's no good.
I think he double kissed it. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Double kissed it. That was the shot that he was favored to take, I thought, but but that's still the trouble, and the only people that'll come and sit for a week and watch the U.S. Open are people like us, and it isn't bringing any new people in. Everybody now just wants to do this all day, and.
Well, there's no real instant gratification in pool compared to, say, playing a game of Angry Birds or Candy Crush. There's no contest. Pool is too much like work.
Well, what it takes is something that they're not willing to give up, which is their time. You catch a 3-ball.
Yes.
This is
Now she can hit that 9 away comfortably.
This is a true thing of beauty. Trouble is that the 9 starts to fade down towards the 5.
She hits it firmly enough, it'll bounce out. That's what she's looking at. That's an interesting pouch she has there. You see that pouch?
Mm-hmm.
See
Right.
how much it bounced out?
Oh yeah. Well,
So it's not
from
a-
a different angle
It's not a fanny pack, it's a fanny pouch.
for a chalk.
Yes.
She might be using Kamui chalk, and instead of using the regular other chalk that they have here, which is generally standard in most places around the country.
Is that the master chalk? I think it's
I don't.
the regular.
I don't say any names of
Oh.
people that aren't
Okay.
aren't contributing.
Oh, I see. There are so many debates and arguments about which chalk is best and which holds the most and which lasts the longest. I must confess, I don't pay attention to any of it.
I'll tell you what my experience. I say it all the time. The Kamui chalk. I was at the U.S. Open and somebody offered me $50 for 1 cube of it. So you can just put that into the mix is of experiences that I've had with people that were.
I was at the expo a couple of years ago, and this kid must have been about 11 or 12 years old, walks up to me as I'm walking down the hall and says, "Do you want to flip a coin for $1?" And I said, "No." He said, "Come on, it's only $1." And I said, "How about I give you $2 to leave me alone?"
A kid wanted to go down gambling on his last dollar. He was probably born to lose, and then you turned him into a degenerate gambler.
Well, you already was a degenerate, and he probably went and told his friends, "I got some sucker to give me $2. I scored." Great, let me go buy half a pretzel now.
That's scintillating position there.
Yes, it is. I can be out from here.
Two cushions, a little high right ball, right near the side pocket. That's good enough. That's a perfect half ball shot, center, bottom edge. That's the shot you want for the cash, is a shot like this. These are. Four games to 2. But like I said, the bad behavior is what these, especially these U.S. pros. We were down at Diamond Billiards about 3-4 years ago, and Ozzy had this big tournament that involved qualifiers, and it was a real nice like $6,000 first prize. Oscar Dominguez won the tournament, and the player I knew was a spoiled brat when he was a kid. Lost to I think to Danny Bell from the Eastern Shore.
I know Danny well, yeah.
I've known him forever too, since he was a kid. But
now his kid is playing well.
His kid, yeah. But he goes and knocks Diamond Billiards when his tweet or his whatever page it was.
Right.
And just no class.
No, exactly. It's classless behavior. That's exactly what it is.
And these people can say, well, I've got an excuse. I'm kind of desperate, and I get real frustrated when things don't go my way. And the answer is get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get something that goes your way every week. It's called a paycheck. And then you got to throw
that was
sweat.
An unfortunate role.
Yeah. You throw sweat and hours at something, and that's all you got since you got no talent. But he had as much talent. Reminds you to Shane with all his ability, this Larry Neville.
Ah, right.
And it's even a shame that I even have to mention his name on the airwaves.
My.
If he gets wind of what I said,
so what?
So what? He can say exactly what I say. People.
I think what you just exhibited there, a lot of that goes on in pool too. Nobody wants to be the person that speaks ill of a professional because their fans come out of the woodwork to stomp on you. It's the Beyonce effect.
Yeah, well, they can. I can just say many are called and fewer chosen, and that.
I mean, bad behavior should never be excused. I mean.
No, it was excused when he was a kid, playing on the Wisconsin tour.
Right.
They had a tour that went through Wisconsin. It was a good tour too. That was like 1990 when I was living in Milwaukee and playing. I'd moved and met my wife up there.
Meanwhile, back on the farm.
Here's Karen with probably another safety.
Yeah, I can't imagine her playing this 4-7 combination.
No, we're going to go behind the 7.
That was all cue ball there. Nice shot.
He's got the edge of it, but the 4 might be frozen very close. Main thing is that he spins it out around that 5-10 and doesn't hit it. After that, I think he's got the good piece of the ball. Yep.
Yeah, just a little too much body language, body English there for me.
Yeah, well.
He's feeling it, but and she's as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. Well, that ball almost looks like a wired one railer. Bank combination from the pike position. The degree of difficulty, she might call it right back up top here.
Yes.
And draw her cue ball back behind the 7. She can draw her ball in the next Tuesday, this Karen Corr, incidentally. I saw her. Yep.
She's playing it.
Let's see if she does the rest of it with the draw ball. Oh, she played something different. I thought she was just going to go into it more head on. She laid out a red herring. She's thinking Ryan's going to dump this ball and leave her 5 tap-ins.
Looks like Serena lost Wimbledon.
Well, she did pretty good coming out of papoose expectoration mode.
All right.
Having a baby and not that long ago, and she did real good.
Nicely struck.
He's showing me a little something, this guy.
Yes.
Oh, that the inside
Commentator's
English.
curse. Commentator's curse. Inside English is so
The
hard.
destructor of youth,
Yes.
the breaker of dreams.
Inside English is just. That's my handle on AZ Billiard forums.
Inside English.
Uh-huh.
Well, most of the times they overcut that ball with inside English because the ball does come out on you. I don't care how low deflection your shaft is touted to be. Shoot. Ooh. He might call it up there where he's standing. Didn't call it at all. He's cueing like he's cueing center ball. That's.
Ill-advised.
He thought he was going to maybe ride up on top of the 9.
That was a tall order.
Too tall.
A little sharper than she would care for, but it's well within her repertoire.
She'll end up playing the ball from about a quarter of a turn from straight in the corner pocket. Wow, she held it good enough to play the side. Of course,
Pretty
it was
shot. Pretty shot.
She had a generous rail. 5-2.
I will be back shortly, George.
huge break shot for Ryan Smith here. Now that 4 in the side. That's hideous. Ugh. That nickel dime might be a pretty good combination too. 5-10 I'm talking about. Safety. Right in the 5-10 gap, I think. Oh, she left it out there though. Beautiful touch. That one he's not going to like. She's going to be coming back 2 rails behind those balls. Oh, a red herring. That was a good shot. Well hit ball. No real reward, but at least he didn't leave Karen a wide open shot. Oh, that was And the break angle too. Ooh. She's got an angle go right into these balls, I think. It's got just looks like got just enough past the 9, and she'll have to roll this ball, I think. Maybe she can draw it over and get parallel with a 7. Yes, sir. Caught a piece of the 9, no less. This looks like a surefire. Six games to 2. As we're approaching the 7 o'clock hour, and Mr. Curtis Branker is leaving the building. Thanks a bunch, Curtis.
See you next time.
All righty. A real good guy, true lover of our great sport for 30 plus years. Curtis took some instructions. Hey, it was great. Couple of
Yes, sir. Talking to you. All right. You have a safe trip, okay?
one goes in the side. This looks like a layout to me. 2 is a hanger. 3 it's natural. This looks like a good potential scoring opportunity for Karen to close out this contest with Mr. Ryan Smith of Schuylkill, PA, and he put up a little fuss in the early going, but those 2 games that he gave away, once with 3 fouls and another one he had chances to win. He missed a 7 ball in 2 games ago. That's the difference in a match like this. This isn't nearly as one-sided as you might think.
She either would like to get her cue ball right back where it is. That would be what she would like for the 5-10, and perfect angle. But she might be playing another type of shot. Let's see. Now that's as good as she could ask for. Calls it, going to call it 10 for sure, and this could be Ryan Smith going from east to west, from the east side of the bracket to the west. And there it is. Karen Corr takes down Mr. Ryan Smith by the score of 7 games to 2.